So you'll be 5 people on the window. I'll be talking to each one of you in between the presentation somewhere.
Sure, sir. So we are live.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Red Brick Summit, I welcome you all to the 4th edition of the TRBS Speaker Series, and the first one that is completely online. It's my honor to invite Mr. Shiv Khera, sir, for this evening's speaker session. Mr. Khera is an accomplished author, educator, business consultant, and one of the most sought-after motivational speakers in the country. His magnum opus, You Can Win, has sold over 8 million copies worldwide and has been translated into over 20 languages. His list of corporate clients includes Lufthansa, HSBC, Canon, Nestle, Mercedes, HP, and Johnson & Johnson. In light of the challenges posed by the pandemic, we believe it's the ideal time to listen to Mr. Khera's wisdom. In this session, he will guide us on how to turn setbacks into comebacks. I request the audience to switch off their mobile phones during this webinar to avoid distractions from calls or messages. Mr. Shiv Khera has offered his 11 cardinal rules for business success to all the participants. You can download them from the link that would be appearing on your screens towards the end of this webinar. For any questions to the speaker, kindly fill in the Google form provided in the description of the YouTube video. Without further ado, I'm handing over the floor to Mr. Khera. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mukul. And also, we want to hand over 3 complimentary copies of books also. I don't know if you've got that somewhere, but would like to send 3 complimentary copies of our books to you people. All right, folks, good evening to all of you. And I congratulate the entire student community for organizing this program that you do annually, and I'm grateful that you invited me. Thank you very much. All right, folks, now, how did I pick this title, Turn Setbacks into Comebacks? Because I have had 3 major setbacks in my life, means I went into minus, and what helped me come back is really what I'm going to share with you today. I'm not an educated person. I'm a BCom 3rd division. I failed in my 10th. That's my academics. Now, I come from a business family. We had coal mines in India, close to 1,000 people working for us. And I didn't create the mines, I inherited them. And the mines got nationalized, the government took over. And right from being a mine owner, we came on the street. Street means street. Now, some families had money. Our family did not, because my father had died when I just about finished college. We were left with the liabilities and the assets were gone. And I was married just 4 weeks then. I remember a year later, my daughter was born, and I sold some of the last pieces of my mother's jewelry to get her released from the hospital. I did not have $10 to buy milk that night. Well, I tried my hands on 3 businesses with no money, and I failed in all 3 businesses. Finally, November 13, 1975, I left India, went to US, initially went to Toronto. I started life with a bucket in my hand, washing cars door to door. For a year and a half to 2 years, I was washing cars. And totally by accident, I got into selling life insurance. Now, folks, and within a matter of 3 months, I was about to be fired by my manager for non-performance. Now, what were the turning points that changed my life from here? All I can say is getting into selling life insurance was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my life. Because that is where I learned that in life, rejection is common. We all keep looking for success all the time. All our parents, teachers keep saying, succeed, 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 and keep winning, 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 winning. They never teach us that a good sportsman understands both he knows how to win and how to lose also. I repeat, Mukul, a good sportsman understands how to win and how to lose also, because we have never been taught how to lose. We have never been taught how to fail. All we have been taught is win, succeed, win, succeed, win, succeed. And you know what? The moment failure comes, we don't know how to handle it. We either go to drugs or get depressed or get onto drugs somewhere else. And this is not life is all about. Life is not one way all day. It goes up and down and up and down. We need to understand both. So if you want to be a good sports person in life, and succeed in life, you need to learn both how to succeed and how to lose. Both. We need to understand that because this is part of life. Are you with me? Gauri, are you with me? Okay, now, the next part comes in is, now what were the turning points? You see, once, and I'll share with you what the turning points were, and thereafter, my life changed. I started hitting $1 million policies. First year, second year, 3 million, year after 5 million, moved on to the US, got into 3 businesses, and I bought out a company out of California in 1984, started the New Jersey operation with no clients, and I sold my company with close to 500 clients for a decent sum. So now here is what I'm sharing, my learning, what changed my life. Now, first of all, this corona crisis is moving from one city to another, covering the whole world. And the overcrowded hospitals, shortage of supplies, orders getting canceled, factories are closing, unemployment rate going up, death rate going up. This scenario has literally shaken up the whole world. Now, with that, it has caused a lot of uncertainty because nothing is predictable. Nobody can tell what is the finish line to this crisis. Nobody can tell. So with that, a lot of insecurity has come in and uncertainty has come in, and that has caused a lot of stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, depression. All these things are happening everywhere today. Now, all I can say is stress is both natural and normal. Anybody who says they don't have stress, they belong into the lunatic asylum. Are you with me, Mukul? They belong into the asylum. Now, all stress is not bad. In fact, it is stress that makes us perform. You see, the athlete at the Olympics, is he under stress? Answer is yes. If he was not under stress, you think he'll be able to perform? Answer is never. The best example that I can think of in life is all of us pretty much either in real life or in the movies must have seen the race course. Have you seen the thoroughbreds at the race course? When they're being taken into the cabin, what are they doing? See, Rivik, they're all jumping like this. Why are they jumping like this? Because they're under very heavy stress. And when they're taken in to the cabin and they are there, and after that, the moment the bell rings, what do? They shoot, they perform, they run. Now, that is a thoroughbred. Now, but if you take a jackass to the race course, this jackass walks so relaxed, comfortable, cool, and he's not jumping like the thoroughbreds. And this guy is walking so cool, but then all his life, he never ever performs like a thoroughbred. He will remain a jackass for the rest of his life. Now, hear this statement, Mukul. Stress is the price we pay to be a thoroughbred in life. Daria, I repeat, stress is the price we pay to be a thoroughbred in life. Now, all of us can handle stress. Everybody can handle stress. What we cannot handle is chronic stress. Are you with me? Ravik, are you with me? Abin? What we cannot handle is chronic stress. That is the time we start breaking down. Now, folks, let us not overrate this crisis and threat, and let us not underrate our strength to fight and win. I repeat, this is very important. Let us not overrate this crisis and threat, and let us not underrate our strength to fight and win. Now, this crisis has impacted us 3 ways. 1, our life. 2, our livelihood. And 3, our lifestyle. Now, how has it impacted our life? 1 is none of us know who will be in quarantine next. Nobody knows. Interesting, isn't that right, Gauri? Nobody knows who will be in quarantine next. Nobody knows. And 2, what we do, where we go, and who we meet could be a matter of life and death. Are you with me? what we do, where we go, and who we meet could be a matter of life and death. Okay, now, this is the life component. Now, let us talk about the second side is our livelihood. Now, folks, everybody's livelihood has been impacted. Either there's salary cuts or job cuts, and businesses have closed up. Even the governments are going bankrupt because they are not collecting any taxes either. Now, with the result, we need to figure out who are the people who are worst hit. There are three kinds of people in this world. One is the super rich. They are the super rich people. Two, mediocre. Three, the poor. The poor are the worst hit. See, they're the daily wage earners. They work during the day, eat in the evening. They are the worst hit, Mukul. Now comes the super rich. I was not surprised when I read 2 weeks ago that Apple Computers has $250 billion in cash reserve. Now, Mukul, they can't have a livelihood problem. They can't have a cash flow problem. Now, they might have a growth problem, but they can't have a cash flow problem. $250 billion. Okay. Now, same thing is true within the Adani family, Ambani family, the Birlas or the Tatas. I'd be totally surprised that they also have a cash flow problem or livelihood problem. I'd be surprised. They don't. Now comes the mediocre, where it belongs people like me and possibly some of you guys. The mediocre people are thinking, will the crisis finish before the money, or will the money finish before the crisis? Are you with me? This is the question that is coming into people's head. Now, folks, this is where I had another company which I sold in the US. We did financial planning, and we shared with people that, look, as part of a financial planning, we used to always tell our clients that you must have 1 year of your income in cash reserve, accessible within less than 24 hours. It is called emergency fund. Why? Because emergencies never warn you in advance. Are you with me? Emergencies never warn you in advance. You must have accessibility to 1 year of your income in cash, accessible within less than 24 hours. Now, and the next part is, this has become like a cliche fad. Work from home, work from home, work from home, work from home. I mean, you know something? Maybe in some industries like IT, it is possible to work from home. But tell me something. How you people are all management graduates here, how do you work from home in a construction industry? Hey, you can't. How can you work from home in a manufacturing industry? Hey, you can't. In fact, a banker just came to me the other day, and I asked him, what percentage of staff are you working with? And he said, we're working with 30% staff. I said, are you working at 30% efficiency levels? He said, no, sir. He said, we are working at right now close to 60% efficiency level, and we are shooting for 90% efficiency level with 30% staff. I said, how are you able to do it? He said, because there were many people till now who were on manual banking, and especially the senior citizens. I bet you have grandparents and others who don't even know how to turn a computer on, just like me. I didn't know how to do it. So they are scared of the computers. He said, we have visited each one separately, one by one, and taught them how to use the computer and put them on the digital platform. And since we have put them on a digital platform, we are able to hit 80% efficiency with 30% staff. How do you like that? Now, so my next question was that if you have reached 80, 90% efficiency with 30% staff, then does that mean that when the crisis is over, you won't need the balance 60% who are not here anyway, because you are almost 100% efficiency right here? You need them. He said, sir, this could be a reality. This could be a reality. Now, hear this carefully. You guys are graduating from here. There was a survey conducted by Gallup in the US, which said 63% of people who go to work, they're disengaged. Means they don't do their job. Mukul, hear this carefully. They don't do their job. An additional 24% are actively disengaged. Means they make sure that others also don't do their job. That leaves only 13% of people who go to work actually do work. This is not my survey or your survey. This is a global survey by Gallup. Only 13% of people who go to work actually do work. Now, let me ask you, is this not an integrity issue? Is this not an integrity issue? Mukul, are you with me? Yeah, it is an integrity issue. You see, when I was selling life insurance, I was on 100% commission. 100% commission. I would not get paid if I didn't sell. And if I didn't sell, I didn't know what to eat because I was on the street. But I saw there were some people who were on salaries, and Mukul, they were not doing the job. Now, that is where I learned the difference between making money versus earning money. Hear this carefully. Making money is criminal, earning money is spiritual. Taya, are you with me? Making money is criminal, earning money is spiritual. Now, what is the difference? Difference is that when you earn money, you put your energy and ethics behind it, English language. You put your energy and ethics behind earning money. And sadly today, most people only want to make money, very few want to earn money. And that is the sad part. So I said, you see, this is where people need to understand that wages without work amounts to stealing. Are you with me? Wages without work amounts to stealing. Now, folks, and my answer to this gentleman was, the banker, I said, look, if you fall into that 13% category, you have no competition. You are the superstars. You will never have a problem. The balance 87% ought to have a problem because they are really not earning money. In fact, they shouldn't even get paid for it. They should not even get paid for it. They get paid right now. Okay, now, on the two aspects of other things is, on the livelihood component, till now, the word was globalization, globalization, globalization. All of a sudden, the word has become localization, localization, localization. Now, why is the word localization come in? Because, see, till now, production was 20,000 miles away from consumption. Gauri, are you with me? Production was 20,000 miles away from consumption. And now the consuming country has realized all of a sudden that the producing country could blackmail me and put me out of business in less than 5 minutes. I just came to know, I read the other day, that USA depends on China for 97% of the pharma products. Did you know that? USA depends on China for 97% of pharma products? I was shocked. Folks, I was surprised to read further that India depends on China for 81% of the antibiotics in China. India depends on China for 70% of the electronics. And that country can put you out of business in less than 5 minutes. So all of a sudden, people have realized that production must come closer to consumption. Now, why did production go 20,000 miles away to begin with at one time? Because primarily because of labor costs. But today, with artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation, you can set up 100 times bigger manufacturing capacity with 1/10 of the people. So labor costs are becoming so insignificant. And that could be a real issue as we go along. And the world is changing. Now, Mercedes is a client of ours. One of the senior executives of Mercedes wrote in that going into the future, our competitors will not be automobile manufacturers, they will be Googles and the Amazons. Look at what the Mercedes guy is saying. He said our competitors will not be automobile manufacturers, they will be Googles and the Amazons. And today, the way scenario is that things are changing so fast that the products are getting obsolete the day they're getting launched. Are you with me? And knowledge is getting obsolete within 2 to 3 years. Go check out engineering graduates. By the time they get to the 4th year, what they learned the first year became obsolete. Go check out medical graduates. By the time they get to the 4th and the 5th year, what they learned the first year became obsolete. Now, with this kind of a scenario, it has literally become a cliche. The only constant is change. Only constant is change. Now, I wrote an article which I'm sending to New York Times for publication. I'm just going to share with you just 1 minute gist of it. When I was writing that article, I started thinking, it says the only constant is change, then either we're in deep trouble or we have a great opportunity for those who are prepared. But then, how do you prepare for the unknown? Mukul, how do you prepare for the unknown? So I wrote in that, is there anything else in this world that is constant? And if there is, let us master the constants. So my article going to New York Times says, going into the future, the only people who will succeed in life are those who master 3 things, which are totally constant. Hear this carefully. 1, people skills. 2, persuasion skills. 3, prioritizing skills. I repeat, people skills, persuasion skills, and prioritizing skills. If you master these 3, man, no matter what change happens in this world, no matter what technology comes, you will only be on your way up. Nobody can stop you. Now, I don't have time to go into deep into this. This is another 1-hour session. Maybe someday I'll do it for you guys. But why I say people skills, all over the world, you find we don't have business problems, we have people problems. And when we take care of our people problems, most of our business problems are automatically resolved. Are you with me? And 2, all over the world, and this has not changed. Our parents, their parents, their parents, their parents, it's been going on for hundreds of years. It will never change. Go check out anywhere in the world. All over the world, we are hired for our skills, but we are fired for our behavior. Yes, no. We are hired for our skills, but we are fired for our behavior. Total English language. And sadly, no school and college is teaching what we're talking here today. Now, let's share something else. Now, you see, you find out one thing. You see, the lower a person is in life, 90% of the time goes in technical skills, less than 10% people skills. And higher you go up, guess what happens? It just reverses. See, which means technology and technicians we can always buy with money. But the wealthiest person in the world must build and create relationships. Are you with me? Hello? Mr. Kapoor,
Yes,
right? Okay. Now, let's come to first. I'm going to go back into, I got sidetracked a little bit, but not unusual for me. Anyway, now come back to the third side. I said life, livelihood. Now coming to lifestyle. You see, till now, till the lockdown came in, all of us were in the fast lane. Everybody was running. Where we were going, we didn't know, but we had no time. Now, look at this. The amount of time-saving devices we have today, we have never had that many in history. And yet, we don't have what? We don't have time. Why don't we have time? Because somewhere we messed up our priorities. And I'm not giving lectures here, don't get me wrong. I'm guilty myself. I messed my priorities too sometimes. and we mess up our priorities. And whenever we mess up our priorities, we forget to distinguish between what's urgent in life and what's important in life. Now, urgent may or may not be important, important may or may not be urgent. But the interesting thing is that, Daria, the interesting thing is that whenever we ignore what is important, it always converts into urgent. Now, see, look at this. Health is important. It's not urgent. Exercising every day is important, but it's not urgent. Now, if I have a crucial meeting tonight and I cannot exercise, it's not the end of the world. But if I ignore my health long enough, guess what happens? I'll land up in the hospital. Now, look at this. In life, relationships are important, but they're not urgent. But if you ignore relationship long enough, guess what happens? We start talking through our lawyers. See, anytime we ignore what is important, it always converts into what? Urgent.
Urgent.
That's right. Now, what has happened is, because it's a mess up of priorities, and now you ask people, why do you go to work? I go to work for my family. Why do you work hard? I work hard for my family. Who are the most important people in your life? My family. Who are the most neglected? Also my family. What a joke. The most important people also become the most neglected, and sadly that is true. Now, what this lockdown has done, it has made people step backwards and to check their priorities. And they say till now, we were running all right, but were we running in the right direction? And now people have realized, Shubham, that in life, direction is much more important than speed. Are you with me, Gauri? Hear this carefully. In life, direction is much more important than speed. You see, if you're going in the wrong direction and you have speed, you are messed up, man. You are messed up. Okay. Now, one more thing in the lifestyle part that has changed is, and that is that people are realizing on the priorities. You keep hearing till now, cash is king. Have you heard that? Cash is king, cash is king, cash is king. Now people have realized what is the meaning of cash is king. It is better to have money in the bank than to have 50 shirts in your closet. It is better to have money in the bank than buying a car worth $100,000 or $250,000. Does not make sense. Okay, now so much for the three component. Now, through history, there are only two reference points where we have had similar crisis in life. One was the Spanish flu. You must have heard of it enough times. I'm not going to get into it. But my only contention, one point is that the Spanish flu came in two phases. One came in 1918 and it went away. And people thought the danger is over. But it came back 6 months later, the second phase, and guess what? It killed 50 million people were dead. So why am I saying this? Because lockdown is over, people think the danger is over. Danger is not over. In US, 250,000 people are dead right now. 250,000 people are dead already. And the second phase has not even come as yet. So the doctors are saying maybe comes in November, December. We don't know. All I'm saying is don't drop your guard. That's one. Now, number two is the second comparison was the Great Depression of 1929. At that time, the banks failed, stock market crashed, people lost their savings, and $100 became $15. And 15 million people were unemployed. Now, folks, 15 million people then is equivalent to 55 million people today. Why? Because the population of the US at that time was only 120 million. That's about it. Now, here is a silver lining, Daria, that studies have shown and experience shows that whenever unemployment goes up, self-employment always goes up. I repeat, English language. Whenever unemployment goes up, self-employment always.
Goes up.
Now, during the Great Depression, there were some people who started their business at that time with nothing. And today they have become household words in the US. And they had no money, they were struggling, they had no technology, no education, no risk-taking ability. But what they had was, they were solution-focused people. Now, have you noticed one thing, that in life there are some people who are only problem-focused? You know what that means? You give them a solution, they'll give you a problem. They have a problem for every solution. Henry Ford said, kick them out, kick them out, kick them out. We're not stupid. We understand there are problems, but we need somebody who's solution focused. I'm going to share only 3 examples with you. One was a man by the name of George Jenkins. In his neighborhood, he started an outlet for non-perishable durable goods. Non-perishable. These 2 words are very important, Gauri. Non-perishable is because if they perished, means it's a total loss. And durable means if they didn't sell, at least the family could use it. He started out 100 years ago. And today, his turnover is $30 billion, net worth $6 billion. He's got 1,000 outlets in the US, and the store's name is called Publix Supermarket. Go check it out. 1. Second, 2 brothers in California, Gallo brothers, they were struggling. They caught hold of some grapes, made wine out of it, but nobody would buy it. They started selling the wine at 50% below market. This is how they started 100 years ago. And today, Gallo Winery accounts for 25% of the wine trade in the US, and the net worth is close to $10 billion. And the third example is a man by the name of Simplot. He had a little patch of land and he started cultivating potatoes. Now, what he couldn't sell, they ate. What they couldn't eat started rotting. Now, they could not afford the loss of rotten potatoes, so he started freezing them. This is how he started. And today, he accounts for 33% of the French fries business in the US, with McDonald's being the highest customer, and his valuation is about $10 to $12 billion. Now, folks, why am I sharing this with you? I don't want to leave the listeners with an impression that you and I start businesses, you and I will become billionaires. That is not the message. The message is all these people had no money, no risk-taking ability, no education, no technology, but they were solution-focused. All I'm saying is we all need to become solution-focused. Now, folks, think about it. This sentence is very important. How come, under the same set of circumstances, some people break records while others break themselves? How come? Think about it. How come, under the same set of circumstances, some people break records while others break themselves? How come? I don't think you and I have the answers to that, because they were solution-focused people. Now, so much for that. Now, how do we overcome this crisis? We need to know what steps can we do, solutions to overcome the crisis. True? Are you with me so far? Shubham, are you with me, sir? Okay. Now let's go further. I'm going to go a little slow. If you want to take this down, please do so. If I have time, I will cover all 9 steps, but if not, I will make sure I do cover at least 6 or 7 of them. Now, hear this. Step 1. Step 1. Step 1 is called the serenity prayer. Serenity prayer. Folks, about 45 years ago, I attended a program by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the man who wrote the book Power of Positive Thinking. There were 1,000 people. I was one of them. As Dr. Peale came in, looked at all of us, And he says, you people appear so cool, calm, comfortable, relaxed. It appears that nobody has a problem here. Then he asked, does anybody have a problem here? Everybody raised their hand. Who doesn't have a problem? We all have problems. And then he asked, how many people would like to get rid of their problem? Again, everybody raised their hand. Then Dr. Peel said, while I was coming here, I came across a place where I saw some people all stretched out, totally comfortable, relaxed. They had no problem whatsoever. And he asked, how many people would like to know where that place is? Again, everybody raised their hand. And then Dr. Peel said, 2 blocks away from here, there is a cemetery. There are people lying there, all stretched out, totally comfortable, relaxed. They have no problem whatsoever. Then he asked, how many people would like to get rid of their problem? Nobody raised their hand. Everybody put their hand in their pocket. Then Dr. Peel said, remember, problem is a sign of life. So long as we are alive, we shall have problems. The day we don't have problems, we'd be dead. And when you're running short of problems, that is the time to watch out and pray to God. Have you stopped trusting me anymore? Send me some problems. And that day, Tarya, he gave a prayer which is called the Serenity Prayer. And for the past 45 years, I have never left my home without my prayer. And I've come across so many adversities. This prayer has helped me. In my opinion, it is the gist of life. I will say it twice. It goes like this. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference what I can and what I cannot. One more time. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference what I can and what I cannot. Now, if you analyze and dissect this little prayer, it says it all. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. Now, let me ask you, Rivik, can we change everything in this world? Answer is no. Do we control everything and manipulate the way we want it? Answer is no. There are many things beyond us, such as, I didn't choose my parents, neither did you. I didn't decide where I was going to be born, and neither did you. If this is my height and the color of my skin, there's nothing I can do about it. And granted, sometimes people are born deformed, and sometimes bad things do happen to good people for no fault of their own. What wrong did they do? Who knows? How did this corona crisis come? I don't know, but it's here. It says, what I cannot change, let me accept it graciously, not grudgingly. Because many times in life, we keep fighting the things we just cannot change. And we bring stress into our lives, and we become paralyzed, and we become unproductive. So it says, what I cannot change, let me accept it graciously. But if I can change, give me the guts and courage to do it, and wisdom to know what I can and what I cannot. Now, see, when I wrote my new book, You Can Achieve More, we took this thought and 2 steps forward. And in my book, I have written there that life is full of choices and life is full of compromises. Seems like a contradiction, but not really. Now, how is life full of choices? Look at this. If I ill-treat you, I've chosen to be ill-treated, haven't I? If I treat you with discourtesy, I've chosen to be treated with discourtesy, haven't I? See, if I light up a cigarette, I've chosen to invite cancer, haven't I? Now, if I drink and drive, I've chosen to invite an accident, haven't I? See, if I exercise every day, I've chosen to invite good health, haven't I? If I eat too much every day, I've chosen to be obese, haven't I? Now, if I tell lies, I've chosen to lose my credibility, haven't I? And if I tell the truth, I've chosen to be a credible person, haven't I? Are you with me? Now, hear this carefully. We are all free to the point of choice. But after we make our choices, the choice controls the chooser. We have no more choice after that. I repeat, our freedom stops. We are all free to the point of choice, but after we make our choices, the choice controls the chooser. We have no more freedom after that. Now, how is life full of compromises? In life, we cannot choose the cards that are dealt to us. What we can choose is how we play the game. And sometimes nature gives us a lemon. The choice is ours. Do we cry or do we make lemonade? That's our choice. Are you with me? Now, sometimes people do ask me, Mr. Khera, those who are successful, don't they make mistakes in life? And those who fail in life, don't they do positive things in life? And my answer is that people who succeed in life, they do make mistakes. But remember, making a mistake once in a while does not make anybody a failure. Repeating the same mistake again and again is what brings failure. And doing something positive once in a while does not bring success either. Repeating the same positive behavior again and again is what brings success. Folks, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Series of positive choices in life is called success, and series of negative choices in life is called failure. And that's about it. It is not that complicated. Now, this is step one. Step two. Step two is, folks, convert your downtime to uptime. Convert your wasted time to productive time. How do you do it? Folks, a survey was conducted in the US before the crisis, which said an average American watches 3 to 4 hours of television per day. Before the crisis. Right now, there are people watching 8, 10 hours of TV per day. And by the way, it's not average American. It is average European, average Indian, average Australian. They are all watching 3 to 4 hours of TV per day. So a man went to a friend who used to watch a lot of TV. So he asked his friend, how much did this TV cost you? He said, this TV cost me $1,000. He said, you don't understand. How do you calculate cost? And you people are management students. He said, you need to understand how to calculate costs in life. He said, what do you mean? He said, have you ever calculated what is your hourly rate? He said, well, I've not done it, but if I make $100,000 per year, and if I work 2,000 hours in a year, my average hourly rate comes to $50 an hour. And he said, you watch 4 hours of TV per day. That comes to $200 per day, multiply 365. You know, this TV is costing you $85,000 per year, which is more than your EMI on $1 million home. Are you with me? You don't know how to calculate things in life. You see, when I do my 4-day leadership program, we teach people how do you calculate in real life to succeed. You see, if I have not learned anything today, I've lost a day. If you learn something today, I've gained a day. This is how to do calculation in life, which they don't teach anywhere, schools, colleges, sad part. Now, here is. Now, he said, that's your cost. Now, in my new book, You Can Achieve More, I mentioned a survey which said that 85% of millionaires and billionaires all over the world are first generation. Daria, 85% of millionaires and billionaires all over the world are first generation. Only 15% coming from inheritance. And they were asked that how did you achieve so much financial success in such a short time? And the answer was that we read books. How many books? 50 books a year. 50 books a year, which means what? one book a week, one book a week, one book a week. Multimillionaires, billionaires read one book a week. Warren Buffett reads 6 to 8 hours per day. Bill Gates reads 70, 80 books a year. Hello? And what kind of books? They said we only read self-help books. We don't read fiction. We have no time to waste. Why? Fiction will remain fiction. But one good idea from a self-help book is worth $1 million. They said we do not have time to waste. Now look at this. Multimillionaires, billionaires read one book a week. Average American reads only one book a week, and that also fiction. No wonder. And they complain, I have no time, no money. And they keep complaining for the rest of their life. And they will keep doing that all the rest of their life. You know something? They are unemployed, they have no time, or underemployed, but they have no time to read a book. And they say, when I have the money, I'll buy a book. You know something? You can get a book from any library free today, but they will never do it. They will never do it. Now look at this. This is the proof of the pudding is in eating here. These people who have reached such heights, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and all these guys, they read a book a day, or a week, one book a week. So there is a connection between learning and earning and learning and earning and learning and earning and learning and earning. Now, I have a client, Arrow Electronics from US. It's a $26 billion company. They're my clients. Their managing director went through our leadership program and he bought our books and so on. And he says, Mr. Khera, when I took over as managing director, we had 2% market share. He went through all our leadership program and bought our books, and he gave our books, You Can Win, and the other books to all his sales team and everybody. He said, Mr. Khera, we're celebrating our major event. And they invited me to keynote that. And they said, in the last 90 days, we have had the biggest bumper quarter. We had $2 billion in sales, $2 billion in the last 90 days. There is a connection between learning and earning and learning and earning. And he says, I have read your book 10 times, 10 times, 10 times. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Many times people tell me, oh, Mr. Khera, I've read your book once. I said, you wasted your time and money too. You haven't got anything out of it. You know something? There are books that I read 7, 8, 10 times. If you read a book once and you haven't got anything out of it. Now, many times I've also learned that a serious reader will never borrow or lend books. Never. They never borrow or never lend books. Why? Many times people come to me and say, Mr. Khera, I've got a great book. I can lend it to you. I said, don't. Either give it to me, gift it to me, sell it to me, don't lend it to me. Why? Because I won't give it back to you. Why? Because when I read a book, I always underline, make notes on the side. Why? Because I learned one thing. Whenever you read a good book, reading a good book once is never good enough. Why? Because when you read a good book second time, you don't find anything new in the book, but you find something new in yourself. When you read it the third time, you find something new in yourself. And the fourth time and the fifth time, nothing new in the book, but something fine in yourself. You know something? This is how people read books who mean to do business in life. Okay. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because if during this lockdown period, if we have not upskilled ourselves or become more knowledgeable or become healthier and fitter, we cannot complain that we had no time. I repeat, if during this lockdown period, if we have not upskilled ourselves or become more knowledgeable or become healthier and fitter, we cannot complain that we did not have time. Now, why I share these three things? Because, folks, the lockdown came in March in India. Now, I did my first webinar on 8th of April. Now, till then, Daria, hear this, till then, I am not a techie. I was learning to do SMS for my grandchildren. Till then, in my life, I had never done an email. I did not know what's an email. I'd never opened a computer. But you know something? I've learned this in the last 90 days. And in the last 90 days, I have done 75 webinars, and many people have paid me for it, by the way. Many people have paid me for it. And now I'm giving out dates in January. It's opened up totally a new avenue to me. So one, I upskilled. Two, in my library, in my office, there were many of my books in cartons. I started opening them, and I found in my library alone, I have 250,000 books, which is more than many libraries have. And many books were half read. I started reading those books back again. And one night I was reading till 6 o'clock in the morning, couldn't wake up till 2 o'clock, but who cares? I didn't waste my time watching TV. And third, I've lost 6 kilos of weight, and I'm feeling healthier and fitter. I'm feeling a lot healthier and fitter. Now, let me ask you, look at this. My business is growing. It's gone up. The avenue I never knew in my life that was existed here. Keep in mind, all of us will face problems in life. We all face problems. But during the crisis, if you're not upskilled yourself, or become more knowledgeable, or become healthier and fitter, we cannot blame that we don't have time. Are you with me? We need to convert wasted time to productive time. Now, step three. Step three is build strong relationships in life. I repeat, you need to build very strong relationships. Folks, I'm going to share with you one little story from my book, You Can Win. Mukul and Daria, do I have your permission? Because I see the watch. I think I might go a little over time. Unless you want me to cut off, I will be doing it. But I might go about 10 to 15 minutes over time. Would that be okay with you?
Yes, sir. It's completely okay.
Okay. All right. I wanted to seek your permission. Now, the third thing is build strong relationships in life. I want to share with you one little story from You Can Win. You see, there were two childhood friends, Bill and Harry. They went to school together, college together, joined the army, war broke out, and they were fighting in the same unit. Harry was in the trench, and the bullets were flying all over. And from the darkness, a voice came, Harry, I'm hurt. Please come and help me. Right away, he knew this was his childhood friend, Bill. So he asked the captain, can I go? Captain said, no. Look at the way bullets are flying. You could be dead. I could be short-handed. And the way Bill is sounding, I don't think he will live anyway. Harry kept quiet. But then the voice came again the second time. Harry, I'm hurt. Please come and help me. Since he had been refused the first time, he didn't have the guts to ask the second time. But then the voice came the third, fourth, fifth time. Now he couldn't hold himself. He said, Captain, this is my childhood friend. I must go. Captain said, okay, go. So Harry crawled through the darkness, grabbed Bill, dragged him back, threw him into the trench, fell over him. And they found Bill dead. That was his dead body. Now, when Captain saw Bill dead, he got angry. He said, didn't I tell you, you could have been killed and I could have been short-handed, and he didn't make it anyway. He said, Harry, you made a mistake. Harry said, no, Captain, I did not make a mistake. Because when I reached Bill and I grabbed him, he wasn't dead. His last words were, Harry, I knew you would come. His last words were, Harry, I knew you would come. He said, Captain, I did not make a mistake. Folks, this is how crucial relationships are in life. And when there's a good one, it needs to be nurtured and cherished. Now, folks, keep in mind, our greatest asset in life is not our bank balance. It is our relationship balance. You notice one thing, people who have good relationships, what they can achieve with one phone call, you cannot achieve with $1 million. Are you with me? Hello? Gauri, are you with me? Yeah. People who have good relationship, what they can achieve with one phone call, you cannot achieve with $1 million. Now, when we talk of relationships, we talk of what? Personal, professional, and social relationship. Personal, professional, and social relationship. 3. Now, look at this. God forbid, if any one of us was hospitalized tonight, tell me how many people will be around us? Maybe 1, 2, 3, that's all, no more. And sadly, those are the ones we take them for granted, and they're the most important people. And we neglect. And I'm guilty myself, don't get me wrong. That is where we need to understand, we need to get our priorities right on relationship. But you know something, there are many people in schools and colleges, by the way, even business schools, they teach networking. I bet they must have taught you networking. And many times people join in Rotaries and the Lion, the Chamber of Commerce's, and so on. And you ask them, what are you doing? I'm networking. And sadly, they don't understand. They are nuts. And you ask them, what the hell are you doing? I'm building contacts. You know something? There is a huge difference between building contacts versus building relationships. And you ask them, why are you building contacts? He could be useful someday. He could be useful. He's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a politician, he's a cop, he's a mafia, he's a gunda. You never know, he could be useful someday. Usefulness goes, friendship goes. Usefulness goes, friendship goes. You can never in life build relationship with people like that. They're only interested in usefulness. They are not building relationships. They're only interested in, so long as you are useful, you are there. The moment usefulness goes, you go. They are parasites, English language, they're parasites, rascals. They're selfish people. They only are takers in life. They have never learned to give in life. You can never build relationships in life, never, with such people. Now, we have an office in Singapore. One day I came from dinner and I met a man in the lobby and he says, Mr. Khera, you came from dinner? I said, yes, sir. Met some people? I said, yes, sir. He said, I hope you met some people today who could be useful to you. Look at this. Look at his head. He can only think, I hope you met some people who could be useful. He's only looking at utility and usefulness of the people. I felt like giving a piece of my mind and something more to him. He doesn't understand that meeting good people in life is good enough. Are you with me? Meeting good people in life is good enough. Let me share with you the usefulness part of it. You see, if I have a friend of 20 years, and God forbid if he has a problem tonight, who's the most natural person he's going to come for help to? The friend of 20 years. Now, is it my duty to, he's not going to make new friends tonight. Now, is it my duty to help? Answer is yes. If I help him, am I doing a favor? No. If I don't help him, am I behaving like a friend? No. Remember one thing, helping a friend is a duty of a friend. It is never the purpose of friendship. Because if it is a purpose of friendship, then purpose finishes, friendship finishes also. Remember, helping each other is a duty of a friend. It is incidental to friendship, never the purpose of friendship. Because if that is the purpose, is the objective, purpose finishes, friendship goes. You can never in life build relationship with rascals like that. Never. The only place you can build relationship is if you add a value addition to another person's life. You add a value in life, you need to learn to be a giver in life, not a taker. That is where you start building relationships. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Very important reason. I had the Dean of James Cook University from Australia attend my program. And he says, Mr. Khera, all these things that you are talking about, no school or college is teaching anywhere in the world. Nowhere. And you see, I've been doing corporate training for the past 35 years and doing with some of the Fortune 50 companies in the world. And when we do corporate training today, that is why we tell people that what I am doing in your corporation today is repair work. I am repairing. Now, if you prepare them, you won't have to repair them. And where do you prepare them? You prepare them in schools and colleges. So this dean from James Cook, Australia, came to our program and he says, Mr. Khera, we want you to set up a set of leadership excellence for our Singapore campus. And they've just partnered with us now. And we are starting to do leadership training in the Singapore campus for James Cook University there. What I'm sharing with you is leadership training, and what we're talking of relationship. Your biggest asset in life is your relationship, and that is the key. And keep in mind, there's a huge difference between building contacts versus building relationships. Are you with me? Okay. Mukul, are you with me, sir? Okay. Now, next step, become a proactive person. Not a reactive person, but become a proactive person. Now, what does that mean? You see, it means is when we do our 4-day leadership program, and by the way, we've been doing our leadership program at Rajgiri Business School for the last 6 years. In Cochin, Rajgiri Business School, we've been doing that for the last 6 years. And here is what we are talking on, become a proactive person. When we do our 4-day leadership programs, we ask people, are you a good person? And sometimes they say, yeah, I'm good. And you ask them, what makes you good? They say, well, I don't do bad, so I'm good. I don't cheat, I don't tell lies, I don't steal, so I'm good. And my answer to them is that I disagree with your answer. Folks, not doing bad does not make a person good. And if I don't steal, it only means I'm not a thief, but that does not make me good. And if I don't tell lies, it only means I'm not a liar, but that does not make a person good. Go ask a medical doctor. Absence of ill health does not mean good health. Are you with me? Absence of ill health does not mean good health. A person becomes good when they proactively do good. Now, I've been doing leadership programs for the past 35 years. I've learned one thing. I have strong likes and dislikes. I have not been a neutral person in my life. And I felt very strongly that good leaders always take a stand for something. And they will take a stand against something. They're not neutral. And if you're neutral, you're a politician. If you're neutral, you're a politician. A good leader takes a stand for something and it takes a stand against something. Now, why do I share this? Because, you see, compassion is a good word, but I have no compassion for the enemies of humanity. Now, who do I call enemies of humanity? I've seen videos from New York. I've seen videos from Europe. And I've seen videos from India. And there are many people, whether infected or not, they're ill-treating, beating up the nurses, doctors, spitting on them. They are beating up the security professionals, and they're spitting on them, and they're spitting on vegetables, they're spitting on fruits, and they're spitting on home delivery pizzas, knowing fully well, if I spit, he could be dead. You tell me one thing. What do you call these people? If you don't call them enemies of humanity, what are they? Is this not sadistic behavior? Why would a person do it? Knowing fully well, if I spit, he could be dead. Now, why do I share this? Because I did a program for about 5,000 to 6,000 people, and one person from the audience came out and asked me, Mr. Khera, are you a Gandhian? Now, I've learned one thing in my life. Before you answer, you should clarify the question. And two, sometimes the best answer to a question is a question. So I asked him, sir, can you define a Gandhian to me? Can you tell me what are the pillars of Gandhi? What are the principles of Gandhi? Then I can answer if I am or am I not. So he thought about it and he says, Mr. Khera, Gandhi believed in 3 principles. One, he believed that with love, you can win everybody. First principle of Gandhi is love. 2, second principle of Gandhi is tolerance. And third principle of Gandhi is non-violence. 3 principles of Gandhi. Then he looks at me again. Are you a Gandhian? I don't know what came to my mind at that point. I said, well, I've been living in US for the past 45 years, but I'm an Indian. And in India, we do respect our epics like the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Guru Granth Sahib. They are sacred to us. I've not read them, but I've heard them. So I asked him, sir, can you tell me, was Ram a Gandhian? Was Ram a Gandhian? Let us see a 3 principle of Gandhi. 1, you said with love you can win everybody. Tell me, was Ram able to win with love? Answer is what? He could not. 2, so Ram failed the first test. 2, you said tolerance. Did Ram say, I'm a very tolerant person? You kidnap my wife away, it's okay, I'll get a second one. You'll kidnap the second one, I'll get a third one. You kidnap a third one, I'll get a fourth one. Ram said, no. I don't tolerate kidnappers. And 3, you said non-violence. I said, tell me, what did Ram do? I mean, even for self-defense, he pulled out his weapon and he killed that rascal. He killed that evil. Now, even for self-defense, that was violence. So I said, well, Ram failed all 3 tests. That means Ram was not a Gandhian. I said, well, why go that far? Even go and check out the life history of 10 Sikh gurus. The 10th guru, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, when the Mughals were forcibly converting people into Islam, was he able to win with love? Answer is no. 2, did he say, I will tolerate your terrorism? He said no. And 3, did he have to pull out the weapon? Answer is yes. So he was not a Gandhian either. I said, my friend, you need to understand. You talk of scriptures. Show me one place in the scripture where it says, when the enemy is auctioning the respect and dignity of your women and children, where does he say that time you should go and pray in the temples and do bhajan kirtan and do meditation? There is a time to fight. Not fighting is called cowardice. That is not called tolerance. And I said, and Ram did not say, I'm a neutral person. Ram did not say, I have unconditional love for Raman. And Ram did not say, let me see things from his point of view. He said, to hell with it. Ram didn't say, I'm neutral either. Ram took a stand for something and took a stand against something. Why am I sharing this with you? Remember, if you're neutral permanently, you are a politician. This country needs good leaders today. A leader who can take a stand for something and take a stand against something, and that is crucial. And I said, sir, I am not a Gandhian. I am not a Gandhian. Are you with me? Now, second last step. I'm taking second last step. Second last step is, folks, remember one thing. We need to learn to accept responsibility. I repeat, we need to learn to accept responsibility. And remember one thing, faith gives strength, but blind faith leading to superstition weakens people. I repeat one more time. Faith gives strength, but blind faith leading to superstition weakens people. Now, what does that mean? One of the biggest damage done to India has been done by the media, the print media or electronic media. Anytime you turn the TV on, what do you see? There is a Babaji there who calls himself Bhagwan, Swamiji, Babaji, and Guruji, something like that, and he's got saffron wearing, or white wearing, and he's got 3 tilaks here and 3 tilaks here. And he asks the person, what is your name? Where are you calling from? Birth, date of birth, time of birth. Guruji, I don't know. He said, don't worry, I'll take it out. Then he has a laptop sitting there and he does tick, 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 tick. And he said, I got it. And you have Patni dosh, Putni dosh, Pita dosh, Phalana dosh, this dosh, that dosh. You have Pitri dosh, this, and then you have Mangalik. And then you are also Shani Chad Gaya, and Shani is on your head now. And then he says, Guruji, what is the way out? Then Guruji says, don't worry, I have the way out. And Guruji says, Shani Chad Gaya. उतारने का उपाय क्या है? बोले उपाय है एक काला रुमाल लीजिए आप, उसमें काली दाल डालिए, उसमें काला काजल लगाइए, काले बाल वाला खोजो, 7 बारी खोपड़ी में घुमाओ, काला कुत्ता खोजो, काला बर्तन खोजो. People are doing all this stuff. Let me ask you, if it is so easy to get Shani in, Shani out, Shani in, Shani out, Shani in, Shani out, then why don't we send Shani to Pakistan and destroy all the terrorists there? If it is so easy to get Shani in, Shani out, why don't we send Shani to Ladakh to fight the Chinese? Let me ask you, you people are educated management people here. Tell me, why does Shani permanently stay in India? Why does Shani never ever go to Australia? Gauri, कभी सोचा है क्या? शनि कभी जिंदगी में कभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया क्यों नहीं जाता है? Why doesn't Shani go to New Zealand? यही बैठा है permanently. And every Saturday, all you find is every traffic light, 7 मिर्ची, 1 नींबू पकड़ के घूम रहे हैं यहाँ पे सारे जगह. Why am I sharing all this with you? There is a big reason why I share this with you is because if you read life history of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Dayanand, Guru Nanak, they never ever believed in all these things. In fact, they fought against all this. Go look at their entire movement. They fought against it. Do you know in Sikh families, they never tell you horoscopes. There is no Mangalik. There is no Shubh Mahurat. Every wedding in a Sikh family is done on a Sunday. Sunday doesn't sit right, they do it on a Saturday. Saturday doesn't sit right, they do it on a Friday. And here, people are going to Babaji, 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 and they touch their feet, पांव पकड़ रहे हैं. अरे जिसको जेल में होना चाहिए उसका पांव पकड़ रहे हो. Why am I sharing this with you? For a very important reason. Here, you people can see this. There is an article here. It says superstition. This article came in India today, January 2018. It said because of superstition and astrology, natural childbirth in many parts of India has gone down by 80%. And they quoted South India, more so Bangalore, Hyderabad, Madras. People can Google it. Check out 80% of childbirth in these places is done through C-section operation. You know why? Some astrologers said this is right time to pull out the kid. Good omen time, pull out the kid. What is going on? And I see many people going there by the thousands, and there is one Babaji sitting up there, and he says, Kal jalebi khai thi, nahi khai thi, that's the problem. Kal golgappe khai thi, nahi khai thi, that's the problem. Indian Oil is a client of mine. Once in Assam, I was going to the airport, and the driver hit the brake so hard on the car stopped, came to a screeching halt. And I asked him, Bhaiya, kya ho gaya? He said, Sab, billi rasta kaat gayi. Billi rasta kaat gayi. So I said, well, अब क्या होगा? कहता है यार साहब आप शगुन है, नुकसान हो जाएगा. If we go forward, something will go wrong. I said, if I miss my flight, a lot of things will go wrong then today. Then I asked him कि अब तुम कब तक रुकोगे, क्या करोगे? कहता अब रुक जाता हूं, गाड़ी रोक देता हूं। मैंने कहा हाउ लॉन्ग? कहता साहब जब तक दूसरी गाड़ी ना निकल जाए। तो मैंने कहा उसका नुकसान हो जाएगा। बोले दैट्स हिज प्रॉब्लम। दिस गाय, he had answers to everything. He says that's his problem. Then I asked him one question. Supposing you are 15 years ahead and had the Billy cross the road and you had not seen the cat. And in that case, you would have been driving straight and then yours would have been the first car. In that case, what would have happened? Look at the answer Shubham he gives. कहता है in that case आप बिल्ली की पावर कम हो जाती है। बिल्ली की पावर कम हो जाती है। साहब आप हंस रहे हो, पढ़े लिखे MBA PhD यही कुछ कर रहे हैं। Which is the sad part. Now why am I sharing this with you? For a very important reason. And that is that all of us, we all have ups and downs in life. All of us don't always have up. We all have ups and downs. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of us have ups and downs. Now, when people who are getting somewhere in life, when they have a down in life, they analyze the situation and learn from it. And they question, if a similar situation came again, will I behave the same way? If the answer is yes, means you learned nothing. And they learn from it, accept responsibility, and they don't repeat their mistakes again. But a person who's not going to get anywhere, you know what they say when things go wrong? Not my fault, my stars are not favoring me. And they learn nothing out of it, and they repeat the same mistake again and again, and they say, I'm unlucky. And now, interestingly, they go to all kinds of babas, and one baba, they go, Baba ji kya kare? One baba says, preet karo, beta, preet karo. One baba is selling preet. Another baba is selling honey. Another baba is mixing honey and preet together and selling together. All kinds of things going on. Now, in one of my previous programs, one person asked me, Mr. Khera, there are people who go to temples and they wait in line for 12 hours, 14 hours for darshan. Is that faith or is that blind faith? Now, my answer to that is that, look, I pray every day. Why do I pray every day? Because I believe in God. Now, why do I believe in God? Have I seen God? I know what is God. Do I know what is God? Who is God? Where is God? What is God? I don't know anything. Now, when I can't answer any of these things, then why do I believe in God? I believe in God only because of one thing, that there are so many things in this world that are called superhuman. Now, are they miracles or mysteries? I don't know. Miracle, mystery, I have no idea. But they are beyond human. Totally beyond human. And which is that superpower, and I call that power God. That's all. So I pray every day. But in the last 45 years, barring 3, 4, 5 times, I have never gone to any temple. And I feel very strongly that 90% people who go to temples today, they go there more out of fear than out of faith. Arey, ye nahi karoge, ye ho jayega, ye nahi karoge, ye ho jayega, ye nahi karoge, ye ho jayega. They go there more out of fear than out of faith. Folks, my only reason for this is because that find out from Swami Vivekananda, Dayanand, Guru Nanak, they fought against all these things. They never believed in all these things. Faith gives strength. Blind faith leading to superstition weakens people. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Sharing the last item now. And last item is, this is time to give back. We are grateful to God. We are blessed with a nice home, honorable food. Many people don't have it. It is time that we need to share with them too. And I've noticed all over the world, there are many good people all over the world. They have come forward with money, time, food, helping the underprivileged. That is true. But there is one community who has been honored as a community for the humanitarian service, and that community has been honored by the government of Canada, United States government, Shubham, UK government, Australian government, New Zealand government. Every government in the world has honored this one community for the humanitarian service, and that community is called the Sikh community of India. They've been honored all over the world. Can you imagine every government in the world has honored them for the humanitarian service? Why? You know why? Because the Sikh philosophy and the Guru Granth Sahib philosophy, the langar concept has been going on 500 years. Hundreds of people were getting, thousands of people are getting food, and today millions are getting food per day. You know why? Because the Sikh philosophy believes in three things. They're caring people, they're sharing people, and they're daring people. I repeat, English language. One, they're caring people, they care. Sharing people, they share. And they're daring people, they have the guts to fight evil. Look at that Sikh boy, Gurtej, killed 12 of the Chinese before he went away. They're daring people. And you know something? The Sikh philosophy stands on three principles, which says, Nam Jap, One Chat, Kirat Kar. Nam Jap means there is one God, which is omnipotent, everywhere, Nirankari. There is no akar to God. You see, one God. Two, Kirat Kar. One Chak is the concept of sharing with the, and Kirat Kar means dignity of labor. All of you people listening right now, have you in your life ever seen a Sikh person begging ever in life? Never. You will never find a Sikh beggar anywhere in the world. Now, this is not ego. This is not arrogance. This is dignity of labor. They will not mind cleaning your shoes. They will not mind cleaning your toilets. Nothing is small in life. Nothing is small in life. They don't mind doing that, but they will not beg. And this is what the Sikh philosophy is all about, which says, Zulm karna paap hai, zulm sehna usse bhi bada paap hai. And the Sikh philosophy is in the Sikh families, in the Sikh philosophy, there is no caste. There is no caste. Do you know every Sikh man is a Singh? Every Sikh woman is a Kaur. There is no last name. I wish in India, if we had adopted the Sikh philosophy or the philosophy of Guru Granth Sahib to run this country instead of our own constitution, this country would have been totally different. And folks, with those words, I want to close the program by saying to all of you, wishing you good health to everybody. And in our program, when we do our 4-day leadership, we do talk of financial independence. We do talk of money. Keep in mind, we do talk of financial independence. And when people come forward from my audience, they say, Mr. Khera, you talk of money. I said, yes. And they say, but Mr. Khera, money is not important. I have written in my book, people who say money is not important, either they're stupid or they're billionaires. I'm not saying money is the most important thing, but money is important. Now, they say, well, money doesn't get you happiness. My next question is, does poverty get you happiness? Now, if I have to be poor, if I have to be unhappy, I would rather be unhappy with money than without money. And they also say that money is the root of all evils. I said, you don't understand English language. Money is only a medium of exchange. Money is a reward you give me. When I provide you with goods and services, you reward me with money. What's wrong with that? And the more goods and services I provide you, Ritwik, the more you reward me with money. What's wrong with that? I said, money is wonderful. Money is food for the hungry. Money is medicine for the sick. Money is shelter for the homeless. Remember, it is the love of money which is the root of all evils. Loving money, using people, you got it wrong. Using money, loving people, you got it right. Keep in mind, but keep the distinction between making money versus earning money. Making money is criminal, earning money is spiritual. And I'll close this, but many times people in the pursuit of money, they lose out the things that money just cannot buy. And the most precious things in life, money just cannot buy. Money can buy you amusement, but not happiness. Money can buy you books, but not wisdom. Money can buy you a bed, but not sleep. Money can buy you a companion, but not a friend. Money can buy you comforts, but not happiness. Money can buy you food, but not appetite. Money can buy you medicine, but not good health. Money can buy you a house, but not a home. Money can buy you a ring, but not a marriage. Remember, the most precious things in life, money just cannot buy. But remember, money is very important. Now, why do I say it is important? Because I've learned one thing. Money in good hands always does good. And money in evil hands always does evil. And I close this program with wishing you all, the students right here, that each one of you, one, get home, earn money, and become billionaires. Become billionaires. You know, it is your moral duty. It is your moral duty to become a multimillionaire and a billionaire. Why? Money in good hands does good, and money in evil hand does evil. God bless with those words. I know I way gone about 1.5 hours. So it's yours, and Daria, it's yours, and Mukul, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, sir. It was truly a very insightful session and it was great to hear you. I'm sure the audience got a great chance to learn from all the things that you've shared with us today. On behalf of the entire team of TRBS 2020, the flagship management symposium of IMA, I would sincerely thank you for taking out the time and delivering this lecture. Also, I would like to thank Business Standard, our financial print media partner, for their support. Finally, I would also like to thank the audience for their wonderful participation. We are concluding the sessions for today, and TRBS Speaker Cell is conducting many more speaker sessions tomorrow, and the entire schedule is available for you. Please take a look for the same and enjoy the sessions of your choice. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, sir.
All right. God bless. Take care.